let the rigging begin. That's right. This is the 2025 Basscat Puma STS. I started my rigging yesterday. I'm going to try to get it all finished today. I'm going to walk you through where we are right now and then hopefully walk you through the rest of it as we complete it. But a lot of work done yesterday, so let's get right into it. Whenever I'm rigging my boat, as you can see, it's a hot mess. It's got everything on it right now just laid out. As you can see, it always looks kind of like a disaster. But I like to start in the back typically and get my power sources. Got my 2 Lithium Pros batteries in there right now. I'm gonna have a third 16-volt battery shortly, but I don't have it yet. So we've got the big 36-volt. This is the 75 amp per bank battery on a 36-volt battery right here. And as you can see, that those big lines right there are for the you go right to the trolling motor, go right to the front, right to that power pole move, and then those smaller wires right there, they all 3 leads for the trolling motor side go to the single 36-volt lithium coming from the power pole charge, which is mounted over here. Got that mounted over there. The wires are kind of hidden down through there, but then the 12-volt battery is over here. All of the boat and boating accessories minus the electronics are on this battery. This is a 215 amp hour battery. It is a boss. It is a big boy. It is the same one that I've had for the last couple years, and I really like it. This switch right here, there's a power switch, a master power switch over there, breaker, and then I put this Perco. Well, this is not a Perco. Might be. I don't know what it is. It's an inverter converter. Battery selector. It's a 1-2. It's not a both. You do not want a both when you're mixing voltages, because I'm going to have a 12, and then right here is going to be a 16 volt. I've got everything wired, so when it comes in, I can install it, but it's going to be able to switch from the 16 volt, ka-dong, and then I can switch over to the 12 volt in the case if that dies. So it's basically a backup, and then I can go to off and turn my electronics only. I can turn those off so nothing gets drained. So that's what I've got there. And as I mentioned, there's my power pole charge. Got that mounted over there, and that's what that looks like back in the back. As we go forward, I'll show you where we are. Oh Lord, stepping on everything. I've mounted the BBT. I got a BBT because it's got the shorty bracket right here. It's a little bit shorter. I didn't want the full 6-inch bracket coming up here to impede the steering wheel. I got the shorty. I'm gonna have the Garmin 8616 right here. It's the only electronics I'm gonna have at the dash here. I'll show you what that looks like. I've got all the wires run right here, including the network cable that goes to, this is network cable that goes to the black box for the live scope, because the NBT is going to mirror this unit right here on the dash. And we've got the power, we've got the HDMI out, which goes to the NBT, got the micro USB, which goes to the NBT, and then we've got the transducers for the back. So we've got the 2D, and we've got the side imaging for the Garmin all right there. So we got all that. We'll get that all cleaned up here after a while. As you can see, it's a little bit of a hot mess. I always go back, once I'm done, I go back and clean everything up. I've got these wires going into the box. I'm gonna mount, this is the Garmin black box. I'm gonna mount that in there. I'm gonna be running the rest of the wires to the front and back here shortly. There's all my safety equipment. But then I've got kind of a hot mess up here, but I've mounted my Garmin live scope on a Fish Obsessed. There's 3 or 4 good options here for mounting your live scope. I like it because it gets it out in front of the trolling motor, so you're not having any. It's not, you know, the view is not impeded at all. And then you can also switch it real quickly to the perspective if you want to go there. Got my 360 mounted on there. I've got the K&K Customs plate so that you can mount your, this is the Ultrex version that goes with the Move. Got that little K&K Customs plate on there. Got that mounted, secured and tight. So we just got to finish all this rigging up here, tidy all that up, tie everything together. Mounting the Humminbird Apex 16, gonna mount that up here, right around in this area. You'll see that shortly. And then we're gonna have a custom mount made for the MBT. I probably won't have that. May have that at the end of this video, maybe a separate video, but I've got a friend of mine that has a machine shop, and he's gonna help me make a custom mount for that MBT. So it'll be nice and extremely secure, and it won't bounce around. So stay tuned. We're gonna get working. Got a lot to do. So we'll give you an update here before too long. Thanks. Okay, update. We got some of the rigging done. Still got our MBT sitting here, but we've got our deal all rigged there. Still got the power pole gateway. Gotta mount the remote. This goes in. You put that fuse on it. I'll put that right there here in just a second, but got all the wires just about running to the Garmin. Got our black box mounted in here. This is safe to mount to. This is not. That's the bottom of the boat. This is not. This is a little platform, so we didn't put a screw in there, but we did it up the other sides. It is locked down. We got our wires running up to the front, and the other one's running down through there, so it's nice and clean. Love that. Love clean. Then up here on the front, we've got all the wires running down. Got everything tucked back into that little Basscat clam there. That's pretty cool. And now we just got to get that mounted. I've got the power pole mount. These are the K&K Customs have this little angled for the quote-unquote stomp switches, the wireless foot switches. So I got one mounted over here because when you're pushing off from the bank, the reason I like it over here is when you're pushing off from the bank, you can hit that button right there and raise your power poles. Because you don't have to reach over into the boat. You can do that from the outside. Boop. And then when you're fishing, you got this right here. Got the down button, and then you got the anchor button. Got that mounted right there. So I'm gonna get this Apex unit mounted. Like I said, I've got that custom mount coming for the MBT, and I'll clean this up a little bit more, finish up a couple more things, and then give you a little further update. Bada boom! So we got her all cleaned up. She's looking tight. We're 80+% done. Got the Russell Marine Products transom saver in. I love that guy. I've had that for the last couple years. We're gonna put that bad boy on there here in a minute. Get rid of old piece of wood from Basscat. And the big deal, once we got her cleaned up, we took her down to rig it. My buddy Paul down there got us all fixed up with a custom mount for this NBT 22. We got it kind of looking level with the Apex 16 over there. This thing is bad to the bone. You can see that there's tons of room up under it to get up under everything. We'll just get on up in there and look at this thing. This is pretty awesome. But as you can see, got everything cleaned up behind the Garmin. And then, looking at it from the regular view, you can see there's plenty of room over the MBT and the Apex. The 360 looking good right there. Everything is all cleaned up all the way. You see tons of room right there with the foot pedal. And when you stand up, see you got your Apex here, and then that 22-inch unit kind of barely gets up there close to the edge of the boat. That's awesome. So we've got plenty of room to fish. As you can look down, you'd be fishing, have that thing right there. But Paul made this custom mount here. It is slick, man. It is slick. We've got these through bolts coming up, so when we want to take it off, we can just take those off and take that guy off and the other one, and the whole thing can come off. Pretty slick right there.
But what he also did is he made this custom splash guard that goes down and comes back up, and it's got these little spring loaded deals so that that unit does not move. I mean, it doesn't rock back and forth. It's got supports going forwards and backwards. I mean, check that thing out, dude. It is righteous. It's not super big and heavy. It's got these downturns. I mean, that thing is going to be rock solid. I am so pumped about that. That thing is super slick. Again, it's my buddy Paul Green down at Rig It in Martinsville, Virginia. Just Rig It down there. That he killed it. Absolutely killed it with that mount. I'm absolutely digging it, and it's going to be rock solid. As you can see, that's going to be perfect. Plenty of room there. I've got all my buttons right there, but I mean, that's just going to be a heck of a command station. Heck of a command station. But we're going to show you, now that I got it cleaned up, there's the black box. Told you where I was going to put it. It's nice and clean in there. Black box is right there. It's going to be slick. I usually have a couple life jackets or other things there. Have my helmet there, so that the black box is going to be very protected in that spot right there. And coming back here in the back, we still got more work to do in the back of the boat here, but there's my big unit. I've still got to put my 16 volt in for the electronics. That's what these leads are going for, and this is my switch. I'll go from a 16 volt back to the 12 if needed, if we need to. But man, we still got a little bit of work to do on this thing. But by and large, we're rocking and rolling. We're probably gonna get this thing on the water, test all the electronics, make sure the mounts are good, make sure we'll go run around a little bit, check everything out, try to zero in the electronics a little bit, make sure there's nothing we need to do there. Then we'll come back and finish the rigging up. Probably see that in a separate video, but as for right now, this is rigging video part 1. The majority of everything is done. Drop it down there in the comments if you want to see, have any questions about what we're doing, what we've done, and I'm really happy with the way this is coming out so far. Clean, slick, coming along. Got to finish up with the new fish long, some DD boxes, a DD trick live well deal that I'll show you here on another video separately. But I'm trying to look over here. The rest of the stuff I've got a handful of other things left to go, but not a whole lot. We're gonna get this thing wrapped up here within the next week, and we'll be showing you very soon the final full done. Maybe throw some tackle in here so you can see how it's gonna look when it's actually completed. But here we are, the 2025 Bass Cat Puma STS, looking good, looking slick, battleship gray, baby.